This video will show you how to calculate break-even in units using the mathematical equation as well as the contribution margin technique. The problem you have available again is summarized right up here, except for what we're going to do in this video is walk through requirement number 2, which says we're now looking at a year after these results have been reported, and the only change from this year to the next is that we have, so what they tell us here is that the Anheuser-Busch expects the pricing and variable cost per barrel to stay the same. In regards to the fixed cost, they expect them to go up because of the new distribution and general office facilities by $150 million. So that means that we would add $150 million right into here. And remember, these are already in millions, so this is really $2 billion. So it goes up by 150 in this area here. So let me show you what I've done to kind of lay this out to help it make more sense as we figure out the break-even in units. This was the first year, and we've already shown you how to calculate break-even given this data up here. Now the next year I've made, and I've copied everything right up here, and so the same thing is right here as is in year one, except we got to make that one change that the problem indicated, and they told us that our fixed costs actually increase, and so I'm just going to push them right into here by 150 million. So my fixed costs go up by that. Notice this cost doesn't match this one anymore, but that's okay. This market and distribution cost would also go up by 150. So here's what we're going to now focus on. And so let's figure out the break-even using the mathematical equation. The per unit sales price didn't change, nor did the variable cost per unit, so my contribution margin per unit didn't change either. So I'm leaving all of these the same as they were in the first part of the problem. So my sales price per unit, if I plug it in to figure out the equation here for break even, my total sales equal my total cost. The total sales it's going to be a new break even because my costs went up. So I got to sell more to break even because I increased my fixed costs. So my sales are going to be 125.7368x as they were in the first problem. My variable costs are going to be 70.054x as they were before. My fixed costs, however, are different. So since this is in millions, I'm going to make it in millions again. Multiply by a million. So it's really $4 billion. My net income, again, is 0 at break even. So my formula using the mathematical equation is going to be my sales equals my variable costs plus my fixed costs, 4,390,750, that's it, plus my net income of 0. So when I run, I get the x on the one side, I divide by whatever that is, so my break even in units now has increased to 78,852,895 barrels of beer. And again, if I wanted this in terms of dollars, sales dollars, because this is number of barrels, I would take this number and multiply it by the average sales price per unit, which tells me now I have to sell more beer to break even because my fixed cost went up. It goes up to 9.9 billion. So if we want to figure this out using the contribution margin technique, which is a perfectly acceptable way to do it, they're almost the same as the mathematical equation. I take my fixed costs, I come up with my contribution margin per unit, and I divide my fixed cost by the contribution margin per unit. And look at that, this matches here. It's the exact same break even.